Mr. Habib is not too intelligent. He is going to occupy NYC, aka Chaz NYC, aka De Blasio Land, aka Black Lives Matter Boulevard, to talk to a socialist or anarchist, communist, Marxist. We are looking at the community right now.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, my friend. How are you today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm very good. We are here just to see what is happening.
Yeah. So far, we don't have a lot of events for the day because we're not too big right now. Yesterday, we had a bunch of events.
You are very big. Many people are here now.
You know what? It's been big. It's been a lot. It's Sunday though. Like people go to church and whatnot.
Right after church and praying, they come and spend time in Chaz. On Sunday too, what are they doing here when you say there is events?
So for today, 8 o'clock, we're doing a march down to a park in Brooklyn. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is.
Prospect Park.
Right? Is that what it is? Yeah. So we're marching down there and whatnot. Some people are going to stay so they don't shut it down.
Shut it down? Don't worry. De Blasio is probably funding it.
Like if something comes up and we like just the other day we had a blue tent and everything. People were like, it's unsafe. We need to be able to see inside the tent because somebody apparently had a seizure at some point. He's okay now, you know. But we want to make sure safety is a very important thing. So they actually had some architects come down and try to redesign the tent as well as they can so it's safe. You can see inside of it. So there's nothing.
Where are 300 homeless people getting money for an architect? Oh no, wait. You're paying for it.
We're not here to like try to cover up shit. That's what the police are here for, you know? We're here just to like take, you know, I mean, mostly we're here to defund the police and everything. You know, we don't like what they're doing. It's hard. But we're trying to be as clear as possible and honestly, for the most part, unless you're doing something dumb when you come down here, like hitting somebody or like trying to start shit or whatnot, we're generally like very civil. Like, there's a lot of people of a lot of ideologies here. We have some very, very conservative people. We got some really on the left. I saw a guy yesterday. He was like, it was 4th of July, so we were like, you know, happy 4th of July. And this guy was like, it's a fucking fascist holiday. And it's like, yeah, I don't know how much I think it's a fascist holiday, but like,
This guy, he is all over the place.
like you're this or that, you're Catholic, Muslim, Jewish. Like we're not trying to let the divisions or any sort of division divide.
Has there been any fighting here or anything?
See, they've had a couple incidences where people escalated too far. You know, because we do have some comedic characters down here. They do escalate. They do de-escalate it. Like people step in. They're like, "Oh, hold up! Don't start throwing hands. Like we can do this civil." You know, which is it's just comic. Because honestly, anybody can do it. So you don't know what type of background they're from and whatnot. If somebody's, you know, grew up where fighting's the only way to solve stuff, you know, you don't know if they're here. But I mean, eventually you find out, you know. But there hasn't been any real big fights. Nobody's really been seriously hurt or anything, you know. But we're human, so of course we're gonna have some conflicts. Some things are gonna pop up.
Defund the police. You mean you want zero police? No police?
No. So we don't want to remove the police. See, me personally, I don't know how other people here feel about it, but this is my personal opinion. I think it would be important to have a sort of community. All right, so I'll start off at the bottom. Community officers, right? So if you have an apartment building, like any of these, you get to choose how many community enforcers you have, and then you elect them, kind of like a sheriff, you know? But anything super serious, like we're talking homicides, rapes or anything, we should still have detectives, you know? But we need people who aren't here to try and like, we need people who can be held very accountable. You go up to any of these cops, even the cops that are over there, and you ask them for their name and badge number, half the time they won't give it to you, you know? And it's like, you have a right to know who this person is. They're in a uniform, they're a public officer. If you go up to a congressman, are they ever going to refuse you? No. If you go up to state legislature people, are they going to refuse you? No. You know, so why is it that the cop gets to hide behind a veil? I mean, you can FOIL a request to the New York Police Department, they'll give you a list of all like the names and the badge numbers and everything. But if you're in person, you don't have a right, apparently don't have a right to know who who those cops are. You know, especially if they do something fucked up.
If somebody is fighting with their wife
Yeah.
and you calling the police,
Yeah.
should a policeman with a gun come or somebody else?
See, I'm not on the side. See, I'm not on the side of taking away guns from the police. I think because we do live in America, we do have the right to vote. I do think a good improvement on top of the equipment that they have currently would be carrying two separate firearms that feel different and look different. One would be a non-lethal. The other one would be the regular.
You mean like a taser and a gun?
Because if you have a guy running at you with a knife, you don't automatically have to shoot him. Yeah, he is obviously
What up, Aaron?
a threat, you know? But I think
How you doing, bro?
If you go inside of a place, you don't know this guy's arm. It's safer to pull out the non-lethal one and hit the guy with a couple rubber bullets. And if he pulls out a gun, then you upgrade. You know, like I think that's a pretty reasonable thing. You know, if he's shooting you with rubber bullets, it's not going to kill you, or some other non-lethal sort of method. Because let's be honest here, tasers, they're hella lethal. If they're not used properly, which half the time they're not trained properly, they will kill you. You know, so I think it'd be important to get another non-lethal alternative than what they have right now. And to fully answer your question, yeah, if you have a domestic violence occurrence or something else like that, there are domestic violence units that are to respond to that. But I think in the meantime, if the domestic violence unit can't get there quick enough, if you have a foot officer with a non-lethal firearm that will not kill somebody, I think that's not too much of a stretch to be like, okay, so he goes inside of a house, this guy starts charging him with a knife. I don't know many people that if you unloaded your whole clip of rubber bullets that you're going to still be able to stand. You know, it's not going to kill you, but you're not going to be able to do too much. You know.
So you would prefer the officer have rubber bullets than taser?
Yes, because tasers are highly ineffective. People say that tasers work. Here's the thing: for a taser to work, you need two prongs to go in. Half the time, if you really watch like the police body cam videos that they have online, YouTube has police activities, a really good resource for that. You watch these videos, the cops who deploy tasers, if you're like 10 feet away, half the time one of the taser pieces is just going to fall off, and then it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything, you know. So there's no point in actually having one if they don't do anything half the time, and then now you're stabbing somebody with a taser prong. And by stabbing them, you're pissing them off more, regardless of what their logic is for whatever they're doing. And of course, they're going to try and charge at you or whatever they're going to try and do. You know? Like, it's just... Oh, Bruce. Yeah. So, yeah, that's Bruce.
Okay, like man like this, who should deal with him?
See, for the most part, he has been starting conflicts. But I will say that overall...
Can you remove him from the camp if you don't want him?
See, we only remove people from the camp if they start actual violence. If people start pulling knives, if they start throwing hands with people who think it's unnecessary. You know?
He is on man's car, he is throwing drinks.
Yeah. I mean, granted, none of us are condoning him for his actions. Some of us are condemning him because he's been somewhat of an outrageous character. You know?
I'm sorry, I just want to see what he is doing. He seems very angry.
Yeah.
Maybe he look like he need mental help.
You won't do it. You won't find the first fucking shot. I'm done. You won't go over and take your number.
He actually, surprisingly, he hasn't been really trying to fight anybody. He's more talk than he is, you know, fist or violence or whatnot.
Well, he has right to talk, but
Yeah.
when
I mean, I don't know what his story is. Obviously, he's very pissed off with the police because he's never treated anybody here in the camp, for the most part, like that. We have had some issues with him because he doesn't shut up. You know, so when he kind of digs himself a hole whenever something comes up. But eventually, at some point, we just let it play it out. Nobody's throwing hands. Nobody's really getting violent. It's just one person has their one piece, the other person has their piece. Once they're done with it, they kind of move away from each other. They're just done. Nobody's really like doing anything
this is good.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you're welcome to walk through the camp. I would advise you though, just
I don't want to make problem. I just want to see what's happening. I see people here. I want to talk to them, see their opinion, what they are talking about, why you are here. I know many people are upset. Are there people sleeping here in the night too?
So, we do have people sleeping overnight, and at the end of the camp, because we're not trying to exclude anybody or anything, there is a portion.
Excuse me. I don't mean to interrupt, but can you hide the weapon I am taking from this crazy man? Thank you very much.
So at the end of the, right here, all the way at the end, we do have some homeless people who have set up camp, because it's half and half. Some people are like, we shouldn't let homeless people in the camp, but they're homeless, they don't have anywhere to go, and we're not here to be like, you're homeless, you're worthless, get out of here. You know, we're not here for that sort of stuff. We're the closest thing you probably get to an anarchist society that's actually doing well. You know, because we're here, we have the morals and the values and the conviction to actually keep everything under control. This isn't like some sort of Coachella. This is actually supposed to be pretty much the beginning of a new movement. You know, we're very much taking it seriously. You know, we do have our characters, so some of them, you know, half and half. But you know, we're trying to include everybody. We don't care. Again, we don't care if you're Arabian, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Caribbean, if you're Asian. We don't care. Like, as long as you're here and you're here for us, we're here for you. You know. So it's just one of those things.
Here we go.
I'm a socialist, and I feel comfortable here. Like, these are my people. I'm a socialist. Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders, welcome and salaam bacon. My favorite. He give you everything free. Free water, free food, free housing, free electric, free medical, free abortion, free everything except speech.
My people. So if I see my people, I have to be here.
All right over there?
So,
Okay.
you said you are anarchist. There are very different version of anarchist.
So we're not
Some they are financial anarchist. There are some that are literally, we want to burn everything down and start
Yeah.
from the beginning. Where are you?
Me personally, I'm a libertarian. I'm not an actual anarchist. I use the term anarchist because it's a society where we don't really have a ruling class. There's nobody really in charge here. Like, this is the volunteer welcoming position, right? This is where we're like, welcome to the thing, or welcome to the thing. But nobody's in charge of this. Like, I'm here by my free will. He's here by his free will. Everybody else is.
The word anarchist. Now listen.
You mind if I'm taping you when you're speaking? I don't want to offend anyone.
You're taking a picture? I don't open a picture thing.
No video. Okay, no picture. Okay.
Listen.
I will. Can I listen?
Listen. The word anarchist. What the people are using. People fighting for them human rights. So you want to give people like name or what have you. The anarchist thing. We are not anarchists here. We are fighting for our basic human rights.
Yeah.
And that can entail anything. You understand?
Yeah.
We are fighting for human rights. Anarchists is like people that deal with destructive thing and what have you. But if the word, like that word now, that's gonna be a lot of explanation and what have you.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
if me is under attack from a system, I have to fight the system.
Yeah.
That make me an anarchist? I don't understand that. If a person using violence against me and me resort, we are self-defense. We are self-defense.
Yeah.
We fight a thing fighting us and we responding back to the system. So it's that you can't label us as anarchists. We are freedom fighters.
Yeah.
I see there is very different opinion. And I am from Yemen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know much about Yemen.
Oh no, I know.
Yemen is very poor country. I know people from Libya, Afghanistan. No matter what country you go in, there is always very poor and very rich. There is no country in the world where everybody is the same.
Yeah.
The closest would be in some European countries, Northern
Yes,
European countries.
yes.
There are countries that have extremes. The United States is actually pretty extreme. We
And
have,
it's not United States alone. You understand me? The concept that them have in some country. You understand me? Where they believe they have the Asian thing of capitalism too, you know. So it's not only here we have the problem too, you know. We have the problem in your country too, where you have the rich above and oppress the poor. You understand me? Fighting down the poor, and the poor supposed to be down what have you. So when you come with a statement and you say, oh, in every country you have rich and you have poor, because the system caused that. Nothing no short. It's greed. There's nothing we fighting against greed.
Are you?
Well,
Mr. Habib does not speak the code of the homeless, but he was saying something that I did not understand.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to cut you off. Alert marathon. Do y'all know what I'm saying?
I have no idea, but if you want to explain it.
Stay alert
Okay.
from these motherfuckers. And this is a marathon. It ain't over.
What was he doing?
Alert.
What's he doing?
We're going over there to talk to the cops.
Okay, okay.
That's my attorney.
Oh, that's your attorney?
Yeah. He just showed.
Okay. I was like, he's wearing way too nice clothes to be.
You know what the
As you
rabbi
can tell
does.
me, you know.
You know the rabbi's got the money. Fuck out here.
so
The best lawyers too. Good lawyers.
No, I'm just thinking about security
So-
and whatnot. I'm like,
a lot of people that is in comfortable position, they don't have no care for the poor. So when they believe, some people come from a system where they believe you're supposed to have the hierarchy and we the poor down here. And it must be that way. And if you're going against it, it's supposed to be a problem because that system must be in place. And you have that system all over the world. You understand me? Well, we deal with human rights and justice. And the world is here for us, not for the 1% or the 2%. Which some have in plenty countries. Them have those type of system and thing what have you. So they say, well, okay, just leave it up like that. All of we just out there, free,
Yes, yes.
and all of we have all the opportunity. When it's life, they control all the wealth, and you are struggle, so you can't reach nowhere. Some people believe that it must be that way. It's not supposed to be that way.
So
That way is not the right way. Like what the gentleman said, we're talking about things like what they have in Norway, Sweden, where the poor man, he can work, he can have a house, and he can have a car, and he can go on a vacation. And he can...
Poor man and still work hard and have vacation? I want to work hard and have money, America.
Like a decent person. Is that what that? We're not talking about a system where you have this great people with wealth with 1 million servants. And the poor servant cannot reach nowhere. That servant children and the children in poverty for the rest of their life.
What you are describing, Habibi, is slavery. I don't know where you have been for the last 100 or so years, but there are no more slaves in America.
That is how the certain people can live. That system, me will fight. That system I will destroy.
The system that you want to destroy is the same system that people all over the world will risk their life to come for in America.
So my question is, what is the best system in the world?
What is the best system?
Is there one country that we say is the best?
You have a lot of European countries, a lot of Scandinavian
The
countries.
Europeans are kind of doing it best
Yes,
these days.
they have a lot of European countries. And why our system cannot work is because capitalists fight it. It's not because of the system, what we want to implement is not right. Even a country like Cuba, you think Cuba could not be successful if it was the sanction and the embargo?
The
and
reason Cuba is not successful is because they choose a system that represses the people. Maybe you have not been to a country like Cuba or Venezuela, but the people are not free. They can be doctor and still be very poor. The rich people are the people in power, the people that rule over the people. Like you know them, the Castros.
this. But we have to fight it and sanction because that system work and the country gonna pattern it too. So we have to make that system fail.
Is my memory that good I don't remember anyone from America traveling to Miami to put their child in a raft and pushing them to Cuba through shark-infested waters, only to be eaten while their child arrives on the other side of the water, saved by dolphins. Alien? Anyone?
To prove our point. Say, oh, they say they're not going nowhere. You see, they're not. You follow what I'm saying? Is that is what I so? What is the system? What we're gonna change the system? What we're gonna change it to? And what have you? What have you? Everything is unheard. Nothing goes short. It's greed, classic. Evil greed. Evil greed. Where man want too much, and him don't have no love for him fellow men.
Is this natural for man to be greedy or unnatural?
What do you mean?
Man, inherently, he is born. Is it natural for him to be good or for him to be bad?
He make a choice. He make a choice. A choice. It's a choice.
I mean, for me
It's a
personally,
choice.
I think
It's
for
a
the
choice.
most part, if you're incentivized to be greedy, it's one thing. If you're not incentivized, it's not. Like, I'm Catholic, okay? And let's be real here, I've read the Bible and everything. I totally think Jesus was somewhat of a hardcore socialist.
America, this is a long video. If you have enough patience to wait through this, you are a saint. These people have been cleaned out of Chaz NYC, Occupy NYC, so they are gone. But I figured maybe I still post the video so you can understand how, maybe not understand how they think. I will leave it at this, America. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thank you.